So I've had some questions lately about what's going on in the Blackstone Labs criminal case, and so I thought I'd make this video. I've seen a lot of misinformation out there, and so I want to use the actual documents that have been filed in the case that are available publicly, and we'll show you how to access those if you're interested later on in this video to give you an update on what's going on in this case. First, as you know, uh, the United States of America filed its indictment on March 7th against PJ Braun, Aaron Singerman, and a host of other people involved with some of their illicit activity that occurred as far back as 2012. Um, the indictment itself's been covered a lot, so I won't get into that. But as you know, that happened close to a year ago in March of 2019, and a lot's happened in the last year. As you know, you have a right to a speedy trial, and things move pretty quickly in criminal court. The first uh, evidentiary hearing really occurred in May of 2019, and here's a transcript of those proceedings. That's where the government shared with the defendants the materials that they had, and as you can see here, almost everyone has appeared with their attorney, and this is what's called basically a preliminary hearing or an evidentiary hearing. And the interesting part about this is that the government shares that they actually have quite a bit of information. And in fact, there is 1.8 million documents in discovery and a 6 terabyte hard drive of information. So, for those of you guys who know data, 6 terabytes is a lot of data. They probably have every text message between all of them, every email, a lot of inventory, photographs of inventory, and so forth. It is an astounding amount of information, which you kind of expect because there's so many defendants and because the allegations last for such a long period. But I would say for a case like this is a lot. 1.8 million documents. That's a lot of documents. So they're asking basically for more time so they can go through all of this stuff. And so that at the end, the conclusion was that the judge decided later on, after they had some back and forth, to eventually move the trial to May 8th of 2020 at 8 in the morning. For those of you who live in southern Florida, the trial is expected to last, from what I understand, over a month. So if you're in Florida for the month of May or even the month of June, you may want to just drop by because it's going to be interesting, I think, to see the government prosecute its case against all of these defendants. Another very, very important development is that one of the defendants, Robert DiMaggio, pled guilty already to the crimes and is awaiting sentencing. He probably won't get sentenced until May of 2020. And the reason they do that is because they're likely expecting him to give information against the other co-defendants. You know, some people might call it a rat or something like that, but this is actually very common in criminal cases with multiple defendants. The first person that basically folds and turns government witness and gives up, they usually get the lighter sentence. So this is probably good for Robert DiMaggio, bad for everybody else, because he's going to turn around and cooperate and probably be a witness against his former business partners. And this happened pretty recently on November 20th, 2019. And in addition to the plea agreement, the government has you do a factual proffer, which basically you admit to all the crimes. You kind of go into some detail as to how it all happened. So this is bad news, I think, for PJ and Aaron. Good news for the government. And slightly better news for Mr. DiMaggio. I don't know if he's going to serve time or anything like that, but his penalties, I think, will be significantly less, given that he's turned government's witness. And if you guys want to access these materials yourself, you easily can. There's a website called Pacer. pacer.gov. You have to pay a little bit for documents you download, but all you have to do is log in. So the factual proffer is probably pretty bad news for everyone else, and so we'll see what happens. Obviously, with the trial in May, it should be very interesting. If anything else is new, certainly we will keep you posted on that.